Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm not going to be doing something like a craft or baking like normal, but today I wanted to share something that I know a lot of teenagers struggle with, including myself sometimes, which is being productive and especially having a productive morning. So I know it can be really hard to get up early and start your day off right. So that's really what I wanted to talk about today, and hopefully give you some ideas and pointers on how you can have a productive morning so that the rest of your day goes great. So the first thing that I wanted to kind of clarify is what is productivity? What is that entail, so that you kind of understand it a little bit more. So to kind of make it a little bit simple, I did search it up, but what it said wasn't really it kind of didn't make sense to my brain. So productivity to me is having some goals, or clear goals that you really want to accomplish, and then taking little steps each day to accomplish that goal. So for example, get a good grade for school, you would take little steps like studying and trying your best on the test to achieve that. So having a productive morning starts the day off right so that you can have a productive day. Okay, so yeah, basically having a productive morning will just kind of have that domino effect for the rest of your day. If you have a productive morning, you'll be more likely to have a productive day and do the things that are really going to move you forward in life, and that is going to make you feel absolutely amazing. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about, and the first step I feel like in having a productive morning, starts with the night before. So making sure that you get a good night's sleep and you're well rested and you just feel good. And so yeah, I think that is the number one thing, because if you didn't get good rest or get enough sleep, you're most likely not going to want to wake up in the morning and do anything. You're probably just gonna want to sleep in. So that is the first thing. The second thing, which honestly I didn't start doing until about over a year ago, which was waking up early. And I know it's really hard, but especially because when we're young, we need a lot of sleep. And so waking up early can be really hard, but it definitely makes you feel way better about yourself. And there's just something about getting up with the sun or before the sun that just makes you feel more energized and more ready to start your day. So yeah, that is the second thing that I think is super important, is just waking up early. You don't have to wake up super early, around 4 or 5, but I think 6 or 6:30, even 7 is really great. I personally wake up at 6, sometimes 5:30 if I have to start my morning early, but yeah. Okay, so the third thing in this little line, I think, is not hitting the snooze button. So I do personally set an alarm, but once you set an alarm for a specific time that you want to wake up, and then you continually do that for a long time, your body will just naturally wake up on its own. But I still like to have an alarm clock. But I think the most important thing when you do have an alarm clock is sometimes we're really tempted to just hit the snooze button and just go back to sleep for another 5 or 10 minutes. And I actually did start doing that a little bit, because I was you know what, I really just need 5 or 10 minutes. But honestly, what I could tell after doing that was I didn't want to get out of bed. I gave myself 5 minutes, and then it was 10 minutes, and then it was I have to get out, but it honestly just made me feel less energized rather than if I would have just gotten up right then. So yeah, that is definitely something that I would not recommend doing, is hitting the snooze and like sleeping for another 10 or 15 minutes, because it really doesn't make you feel any better. Okay, so the fourth thing that I really wanted to talk about was electronics. And I know we live in a world with electronics and we need to check them and for messages and emails and things like that. But what's really important is not getting on your phone right away, because actually the lights from your phones can affect you, like especially right after you wake up. So it's not really good to check your phone right away, especially if you're getting on things like social media or, you know, other things like checking your emails. That's really not something that you want to do right in the morning, because it's not going to be productive, really. It's not going to be making you feel like doing things. Yeah, it's just not good. Okay, so the fifth thing that I really wanted to talk about, and then after this I'll get into like other little things that I really like I do every day that I think would be beneficial to share. So yeah, the fifth thing is make your bed. And I know that seems kind of like silly and super simple, like duh, it's like, you know, but sometimes you like get up and you're like, not really feeling it. But honestly, it doesn't take that long, and some of the most successful people, they will say first thing in the morning is make your bed. And I think it's really important because it's just one little small actionable step. And I know for me personally, I have like a really small bed, so it takes me like 30 seconds to a minute to make my bed. So yeah, it doesn't take that long. It makes your space, your area, look clean, and it just feels, it just makes you feel like really good about yourself that you just did one little thing, but it made a really big difference. So yeah, so that is something that I really think is important. Okay, so now these aren't going to be like in steps like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but these are just little things that I've come to realize is really good to do in the morning. So I just wanted to share these. You don't have to do them in the order that I say, but definitely implementing them would make a really big impact on your morning. So something that I learned recently actually was not looking at artificial light as soon as you wake up. So that could be anything. That could be your phone, or that could be like a lamp, like the lights in your house. Really just taking 5 to 10 minutes of your morning to just look at the sunlight. Or yeah, I know this isn't super ideal for everyone, because normally what I do right when I get out of bed is I go to the bathroom and turn on the light. So I know it's not like, sometimes you can't do it, and sometimes when you wake up before the sun comes up, you can't do it. But just especially with the summer months coming up, I think just taking like a little moment to just look outside of your window and just maybe think about something that you're grateful for, or just being thankful. And yeah, I just think that that is really great for when you wake up in the morning, is not looking at artificial light right away. Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to talk about was more of like self-care. So after I make my bed, I go and I brush my teeth, which is sometimes that can be hard because mostly our habits are like brushing teeth only at night. But I've done this for quite a while now, brushing my teeth in the morning, and it just makes well, first it cleans up all of like any bacteria that developed overnight, but it also just makes you feel fresh, and your mouth is fresh, and yeah, you just feel way better. And something that I also did recently start doing this new year was tongue scraping. And I know that sounds kind of gross, but it's actually, there's this little tool, I'll pop a picture up on the screen, and it actually just really helps. It's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like a mouthwash. You could also do a mouthwash, but it's just getting all of the bacteria or anything else like that off of your tongue, and it also just makes your mouth feel really fresh. The other thing that I do in the morning for self-care is wash my face, and I know there's like a lot of skincare things out there, like moisturizers and things like that. I personally don't do that. I just at night I wash my face with warm water, and then in the morning I started doing this recently, and it just makes a big difference, and it just kind of like helps to wake me up, and yeah, it just makes my face feel clean, and I just feel really great after I do it. Alright, so then the next thing that I normally like to do is dry brushing, and again, I'll show a picture of what it looks like, but it's just a tool that you brush on your body, and it helps to get all of the dead skin cells off, and also it helps with the lymphatic system, which is basically just the system that helps release toxins from your body. So I think that is super important in the morning, especially in the morning, is getting your body going to remove toxins so that it built up overnight. So yeah, I think that's really good, and normally you're supposed to do it before you take a shower, just to help to get all of the dead skin cells off. But I personally don't take a shower after I do it, but you can, but it doesn't really matter. Alright, so then next, I know this is kind of like, it doesn't seem that important, but it really does help affect your mood and how you go about the rest of your day. And so I think really changing into clothes that make you feel happy and good about yourself is super productive, because it's gonna help you, be more energized and feel good in your own skin and your body. So yeah, I think that's really important. Things like, wearing sweatpants and like a big hoodie and things like that right in the morning, I feel like that doesn't really make you feel like good and energized. So I personally like to put like workout pants on and like a tank top like this, because that just makes me feel really good. And then going into moving your body, which also makes you feel really energized. I think that is super important, because if you wake up and, like for me, I'm homeschooled, so I could just like get up and then start my day like that. But doing something to move your body really helps you. It makes you feel good about yourself, and it also it makes your body feel energized and more motivated to do other things that you wanted to do throughout the day. So yeah, I think that is super important, and I personally like to do an ab workout or just a little bit of cardio, 10-20 minutes. You could also do yoga, or you could stretch, or you could go for a walk, or just anything that you really enjoy to move your body. I think that is super duper important. Okay, so now the next thing that I think is super important, which I personally like to do after I do something physical, is drinking at least 8 ounces of water. And it's super important because it's just hydrating and it's really cleansing for your body. You can also squeeze some lemon juice in there, which I personally like to do sometimes. But yeah, just drinking water in the morning, really anytime. And honestly, this is something that I struggle with, because when I wake up, I do not like to drink water. So I know this can be hard, but yeah, it's definitely beneficial. Okay, so this is something that while you're in the bathroom, like brushing your teeth and doing all of that, after you can do this. And I think this is super important. I'm getting to it, I promise, but it's really hard, especially for teenagers, I feel like, but looking in the mirror, directly in the mirror, and telling yourself one thing that you really love about yourself. And I know that can be hard, especially I know for me too, because it's a struggle with self-esteem and self-confidence, but when you do that, you are creating a great day because you are looking in the mirror at yourself, telling yourself that you love yourself and you're proud of yourself. So yeah, I think that's really important because it gives you confidence that you'll carry the rest of the day. And it honestly, when you feel good about yourself, you treat others better and you show more love. So I think it's really important. The first thing to do in the morning is show yourself love, because that will help you for the rest of the day. All right, and now we're on to the last thing. But this is super important as well. And it's just doing something for yourself spiritually. So like for me personally, after I do everything else, I really like to read just a little bit of the Bible, or just meditate on creation, or just do something like that. And I think that's super important. And you can also, I know there's several books out there that have a little daily affirmation thing that you can read each day, and I think that is really good too. If you want to do one or the other, it's totally up to you, but I just think reading something that is good for you spiritually, morally, emotionally, it gets your day off to a great start, because you're thinking those good thoughts and how to better yourself, and yeah, just how to be a better person. So I think that's really great to do that in the morning. All right, so this is one last idea that I was going to mention at the end, and I personally like to do this the night before, but a lot of people like to do it in the morning, which is making a plan for your day. So like writing out a to-do list, or just writing out a to-do list and just making a plan of your goals and what you want to do, and just writing that down. So yeah, some people like to do it in the morning. I personally like to do it at night because it kind of just like gets all of that out of my head. But yeah, so that's another little idea. All right, guys, I know this wasn't like usually what I do, but I really hope that it helped you, because I know a lot of teenagers struggle with being productive, especially with like social media. That is really hard, because I know you can just lose yourself on social media. And ever since I started doing these small little things, I felt way better, and I'm more happy and for the rest of my day, and I feel more productive for the rest of my day. So yeah, I just wanted to share these little things with you, and I hope that you try one or two of these things that really stood out to you, because it will definitely make you feel way better, I promise. Yeah, so leave a like, subscribe, and then also you can comment down below about things that you really like to do for your morning routine, and that would be really cool. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.